Welcome to part 3 of The Wrong Turn. Let's talk briefly about two-step authentication, and we're going to use Office 365 as our example because it was the service where Matt's account was compromised during our demos. Two-step authentication means that 2 steps are required to authenticate to a service. In the case of Office 365, which is also the case with many other services, it requires something you know, such as your password, and something you have, such as your phone or a hardware token. The great thing about two-step authentication in Office 365 is that you can also set up your trusted devices, such as your work PC, your laptop, your tablet, your phone, so that two-step is not required on those devices. However, whenever you, or for that matter a bad guy, attempts to access your account from a different computer or a different location, you have to authorize that login using your mobile device. This would have prevented the attacker that we saw earlier from gaining access to Matt's account, even after he obtained Matt's credentials. Two-step authentication for Office 365 uses the Microsoft Authenticator, which is an application that runs on either iOS or Android. When you log in from a strange device or a strange browser, it prompts you to approve the sign-in request. This is what the sign-in request looks like on your phone, where you would click Verify, if it was you, of course. And this is what it looks like on the Apple Watch. Two-step authentication is available free for many online services, such as Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, and of course most banks. Be sure to set it up wherever you can, especially for sites that house your banking or personal information. For a great list of sites that offer it, check out twofactorauth.org. Let's talk briefly about passphrases, as we do each year. We strongly encourage the use of passphrases in our organization, and we regularly test these accounts for passphrase strength. However, many of these passphrases are still easily cracked. That's because they consist of common words or common phrases with numbers appended at the beginning or the end. Using passphrase lists, these crack pretty quickly. A great passphrase that doesn't get easily cracked consists of a short sentence that is personalized. So you don't want to use a common phrase such as fourscore or 7 years ago, as phrases like that are common, of course, in passphrase cracking dictionaries. Instead, take your phrase and personalize it. Make it something special to you. And be sure to use a password manager so that you can easily manage all of your different passphrases for all of your different sites and your different accounts. Let's discuss Wi-Fi safety, which is our last subject today, as most of us use open or public Wi-Fi from time to time. Here's a great video from our friends at Sophos.
Right now, you're vulnerable to cybercriminals, and the odds are it's your own fault. We're going to show you why.
Throughout our journey across New York City, we'll be offering up a variety of wireless hotspots, named things like Get Online or free public Wi-Fi. Now, the equipment to do this is surprisingly lightweight. Just a couple of computers, a mobile hotspot, and a wireless network adapter. And we'll be using this to demonstrate how you are making life easy for cybercriminals.
Here we are in JFK Airport, one of the busiest airports in the world. Now, it's hard to conceive of a place that has more dense wireless traffic, with all around us thousands of people looking for a wireless hotspot to get online, check their email, or apply their latest social media update. In fact, just right here, I'm seeing 31 different wireless networks. Now, some of them are just numbers and letters randomly generated. Others look like printers, and some of them profess to offer free internet. What's really interesting is we've all become experts at quickly scanning this list to pick out the one that's most likely to get us online. Now, this is a bit of a trust indicator, but in reality, this is just a bit of text that anyone can type in and pretend to be anyone else they'd like to be. That's exactly what we're going to be exploiting in our journey in New York City. During our hour and a half at the airport, 391 people connected to our hotspots. That's several hundred potential victims. Now we've driven over to Brooklyn, and on the way we've been offering up our various hotspots. So far, we've managed to snare 768 users into connecting. But one of the hotspots in particular is extremely concerning. This particular hotspot requires credit card details in order to get online. Now, we're charging about $2 for 24 hours access. Of course, in this case, we're not actually taking the money. But 109 users happily handed their credit card details over to a complete stranger, a company they've no idea about. In this case, me. Now, we're being ethical in this experiment, but imagine for a moment we weren't. If we were to take just $100 from those 109 people, that would be $11,000 for just a few hours' work. It's easy to see how careless behaviours of users are constantly lining the pockets of cybercriminals. So you, or one of your employees, connects to a wireless network. What's the big deal? I mean, we all do it. The problem is, when you connect to a wireless network, you're handing over authority on where your information goes on the internet to the owner of that device. Which means if you request a website, they're in a position to modify it or serve you a fake copy. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. I'm using a copy of the Social Engineering Toolkit to create a clone of a very popular website. Now, this could be a website where you have to hand over information like credit card details, a login to a work email, or anything else. In this case, on this particular website, I'm using an SSL certificate, so there's the recognizable padlock that all users know to trust. All that really says is your information is encrypted on the way to the cybercriminal, me. Now I'm going to just log in here with my normal username and password, and immediately on the attacker's screen, we can see my login and password over here. So this shows us exactly why it's critical to make sure you're protecting yourself all the time. Over the last couple of days, we've toured New York City, offering up our wireless hotspots, named the likes of Free Public Wi-Fi or Get Online. During that period, 2,341 people have connected to our various networks, with a little over 54% of them being mobile devices. As well as that, 109 people were happy to hand over their credit card information to a complete stranger. And there were over 800 page requests to websites that were infected and distributing nasty malicious code. For more compelling data from our study, see our white paper right here.
The most effective way to protect ourselves when utilizing any public or open Wi-Fi is through the use of a VPN. A VPN creates a trusted connection between our device and a trusted provider downstream, so that whoever is in control of the Wi-Fi and network infrastructure that we are using, they cannot see or intercept our traffic. Now, these aren't free, but at around $50 a year, they're a tremendous value and they're very easy to use. Here's two that are popular in the security industry. F-Secure Freedom is the one that I use. NordVPN is another, but there are others as well. Be sure and check them out. Previous presentations are available on YouTube online. Each one of these presentations from previous years includes a hacking demo. Please feel free to use these as you see fit, share them with your friends, and we thank you for being with us today.